Hi, everyone. Dr. Victoria Scarbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today, we're going to be doing the taroscopes. That's the taroscopes for the sign of Sagittarius. That's Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Moon, or Sagittarius Rising for the month of July 2023. And before we get to the tarot part, we'll look at a little astrology. We'll look at the scope part. And of course, Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign, and it is a sign associated with perspective and the big picture. So you Sagittarius like to see the whole picture, not always interested in details as much, but certainly in meaning. Why does it happen? What is the real reason? What is the meaning behind things? We start the month off with Mercury making a conjunction to the sun in Cancer. This is a superior conjunction, sort of sets us up. When Mercury is conjunct the sun, whether superiorly or inferiorly, when it is retrograde, that only happens when Mercury is retrograde. Mercury is not retrograde, it is direct now. It is in Cancer. It will move into Leo this month as well. But it sort of sets us up. It's a little bit of a journey to the underworld with this the sun and Mercury conjunct. We also have Mercury make a sextile to Jupiter, which is your ruling planet. We have Jupiter in Taurus right now. That is your 8th house. Jupiter in Taurus can expand your shared resources. It's also a time when, say, you wanted to get a loan of some sort. This would be a time when it would be amenable to that. You do always, of course, have to make sure that things are on the up and up and that you're not putting yourself in a situation. Jupiter moving through your house of shared resources can make you a little bit more optimistic about things like that. So you always need to have some discernment with that anyway. And Mercury also makes a sextile to Uranus. So the sextile to Jupiter happens on the 1st. The sextile to Uranus happens on the 7th. So we have these energies that are opening us up to new ideas, new ways of thinking and the like. And then, but at the end of the month, Mercury squares Jupiter and squares Uranus. So we do have to be, while there are opportunities coming, we do have to be somewhat discerning about, if it's too good to be true. That's always something that we need to be aware of in all cases, right? The sun starts the month in Cancer for you. Cancer is your, now let me think here. What did I say before? Oh, I was saying about Taurus being in your 8th house. In fact, I was wrong. Taurus is in your 6th house. So X out everything I said about it's in my head. It's all in my head and it got mixed up. It happens. All of that Taurus energy that I talked about is in your house of health. So you need to make sure you're taking care of your health. Now, the sun being in the sign of Cancer, for you is going to be your house of, let's see. So the sun in Cancer is your 8th house. So we'll see. So it illuminates things. Again, the sun there can also, so it kind of applies because the sun is also this sort of like energy that opens things up for us, delineates, shows us what's there. The 8th house is sort of the water houses are difficult to see what's going on because everything's sort of under the water and you have to take into consideration the refraction of light and how things may seem bigger or smaller and not quite in alignment with what you're seeing. You can take that into consideration. The sun in the 8th house does illuminate some of the darker spots that perhaps need to be both revealed to you and then healed by you. Okay. We also have the sun moving into Leo on the 22nd. That is the day that Venus, which has been in Leo, stations retrograde and retrogrades through Leo, a reevaluation of our values, a reevaluation of how we put ourselves out there, Leo, a reevaluation of perhaps our leadership skills. Leo, is about love, love of self, love of others, love of children. Maybe we're reevaluating how we treat children. That obviously has to happen. Hopefully in the United States, we may get some sort of assault weapons ban moving in that direction. I'm always optimistic. If you listen to the pundits, they're totally unoptimistic about that. But I know the astrology, so it okay. Mars is in Leo until the 10th when it moves into Virgo. Mars in Leo trines your Sagittarius. When it moves into Virgo, there's there's a square to your Sagittarius energy. And so you're going to have to make some adjustments. It has to do with your ability to be an authority in your own life and start trusting yourself with those things. Saturn is in Pisces, of course. For you, Saturn in Pisces is your 4th house. So you're reevaluating things about your family of origin, perhaps, and sort of moving in the direction of your soul's purpose with Saturn moving to that place. You also plumbing, maybe something with the plumbing. There's a lot of water. There's a lot of inundation of water. So that they've been in Scorpio South Node and Jupiter, not Jupiter, Taurus North Node. On the 18th, they move into Aries and Libra. The North Node will be in Aries. The South Node will be in Libra. Shortly thereafter, 10 days, Pluto makes an exact square to the nodes of the moon. The resolution node for that is the South Node. We have to evaluate our relationships and how we have given our power away, in some cases, in those relationships, becoming authorities in our own life and moving forward to be our true selves. That's really what the nodal picture speaks of. And being willing to go to places that scare us a little bit. I've never done that before. Well, this is the time to go do that. Go do that. Although one thing about Sag, you're not a scaredy cat about doing new things. So that it's a beautiful thing when it comes to fire. They usually don't stop themselves when there's a new opportunity that comes. Fire is very opportunistic in general. They're too opportunistic, and too optimistic as well. But if you never try and you never ask and you never go in the direction, you're never going to know. My husband, who's in Aries with the Sag moon, says, if you don't try it, you'll never know if it's going to work, right? So you have to be willing to fail a lot before you figure out how to do it right. But you guys are pretty sharp. We do. Saturn will be in Pisces, of course, and that is square your Sagittarius. So your Sagittarius planet. So there may be, especially if it's around the early degrees, 7 degrees of Sag. If you have anything at 7, that's where the opposition is happening. 7 of Pisces and Virgo. So it's in the beginning of the sign. So it'll be felt more by the people who are early Sagittarius. But it sort of can bring you to a stopping point, a reevaluation point, where a decision needs to be made. And that's going to be happening, let's see, that's happening in your 4th and your 10th house. So it could be a house change, it could be a career change, it could be a change around your parents, if your parents are still here, or how you parent if your parents are not here. Okay, so that is what I see. Let's take a look at the cards. I'm going to be using the Wild Unknown deck, one of my favorite decks for Sagittarius, because you guys are wild. Okay, let me just, I use these for another, I usually only use one. Oh, well, I guess I used these already, didn't I? You know what? I'm going to use the Light Seers deck. Hopefully you don't mind. Hopefully the Wild Unknown isn't your favorite. I like to use a different deck for each read. And of course, I love the Light Seers because it's so evolved and so young. I love a youth in this deck. All right. What is going on? What does Sagittarius need to know in the month of July? Yes, the deck. Okay. Give me I need to shuffle these up. They feel like they need a good shuffle. With your ruling planet in Taurus now, slow and steady wins the race, Sagittarius. Not always something Sagittarius wants to hear. Okay. All right, what do we have? Celebration, the Four of Wands. So you're celebrating something right now. This is dancing and revelry and party. And so you find yourself in a pretty happy spot. Let's see what challenges that. Work. Work. You know, you can't do all work. All work and no play makes Sag makes Sag boring. No such thing as a boring Sag. But you know, so you can have fun, but you also have to work. Right? So that's the challenge. That's not in the in underneath it all, we have the Five of Swords here. Somebody's saying something to you that's not making you feel good. There's somebody talking in your ear here. Yeah. And it's messing up your head. It's messing up your head. But I feel like it's trying to get your attention so it can get you out of your head. So if there's something, if you're stuck on something in your head, the crow is saying, wake up, get out of your own head here. All right, get out of your own head. Let's see the past. We have the Knight of Wands. This is the drummer at the party, right? So this is somebody who brings their spirituality on the road, right? This is traveling. So you've done some traveling in the past that is significant. In the sky, we have the Four of Pentacles. Again, there's this energy here. The Four of Pentacles actually about, you know, keeping what you have close to you, right? Like respecting your resources and holding them tight against you. There's be a theme here about working really hard, but also partying really hard or playing really hard. And Spirit is suggesting that while it's okay to have fun, that you really need to pay attention to the financial part of things. In the immediate future, we have the Three of Wands. This guy is here on the beach waiting for the other surfers to come, waiting for your ships to come in. This is a very positive energy. And so the month, I think, is going to be, there's going to be a lot of fun this month for you, Sagittarius. How people see you from the outside, Temperance. This is a Sagittarius card. This is a card of a healer. This is the spiritual initiation card. Perhaps people want you to temper some of your habits, maybe temper some of your habits. Your domestic situation. We have the King of Swords in your domestic situation. This could be a male energy that is very sure of their point of view that comes into your domestic situation. It also can be having to make judgments based on your discernment when it comes to your home. Hopes and fears. The Nine of Cups. This is too much of a good thing. Too much of a good thing. And the outcome, we have the Emperor here. The Emperor has dominion. The Emperor is in charge of his life, of his world. This is asking you to take charge of your world. Underneath it all, we have justice. So there's a balancing of the scale. So things are going to be balanced. We have the Eight of Swords. This is about, there we go. This is about understanding where you're tied up, understanding on the outside you may look fine, but on the inside there are things and ways of thinking that are either holding you back or requiring you to focus more on your intuitive facilities. And then the last card is the Ten of Pentacles, which is a really good money card. And it also has to do with family money. So there may be some family money coming your way. But this is really, it's a mixed bag. The only card that really is concerning is this Five of Swords at the bottom of the thing, which is the root. Asking you to get your head straight on something, but everything else is very good. I mean, we have a lot of good energy here, but you just have to keep your head straight. And if you're attempted to do something that is an abuse of power, it is not a good idea. It is not a good idea. You will be held responsible for that. But otherwise, very, very good cards. So I like this. I like this reading for you. If you do happen to maybe be eating too much or drinking too much or things like that, and maybe somebody says something to you, don't get mad at them. They're concerned for you and they're concerned for your health, and it may be a valid concern. So you do have to be discerning about that in your life. Okay, let's take a look at the Spirit of the Wheel Oracle and see what that has to say. That may give us a clearer picture of what really is going on here. Okay, Spirit of the Wheel, what is your message for Sagittarius for the month of July 2023? Spirit of the Wheel, Spirit of the Wheel, carry me home to my son. Not yet. It doesn't feel right yet. It'll come out. And when it's supposed to come out, I'll know what it is. What it is. Okay. Opportunity, acceptance, and gateway. Growth, spiritual path of the South. Spiritual path of the South. Opportunity, acceptance, and gateway. Okay, here's the little book. I love this deck. It's by, for those of you who are interested, it's the Spirit of the Wheel meditation deck created by Linda Ewashina. Here we go. Yeah, it's great. It just comes with this, with a little book. That's it. All right. What am I looking for? 35. Of course, 35 in the tarot is the Nine of Wands. It's about boundaries. It's about vigilance. It's also a Sagittarius card. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'll hold. And of course, we have horses here. Horses are always symbolic of power. And depending on the color of the horse, usually means something as well. But here we go. That's pretty enough. Okay. I have to take my glasses off to read this. Standing at the gateway to a new cycle within your life, you are frozen by fear of what lies ahead. In the past, you have dealt with some of your fears and began the process of recognizing your own self-worth. Now a great opportunity for a new beginning awaits you. Bring unity back into your life so you can move beyond your fears and focus on your goals. You have reach a truly significant stage in your life, prepare for an understanding that all to a greater sense of self helps us to realize that our fears are really only attachments of our ego, not our true self. We then begin to use our talents to be of greater service to the world. And here's your prayer, Sagittarius. As as I stand at the gateway to a new phase of my life, please help me, Creator, to recognize and nurture my talents, to move beyond any ego attachments to a place of solitude that comes from accepting my own true self-worth. There's your message, guys. All righty, dighty, diddly die. That is what is up for Sag for July. So be true to yourself, have fun, but get your head straight. It's not change is not necessarily a bad thing. Take dominion over your life, protect your resources, and I think you're going to be fine. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe if you'd like a reading with me. There is a link below. If you'd like to become a patron, there's a link below for that. I'd like to get to 10,000 subscribers by my birthday, which is in about 2 weeks, I think, July 3rd, maybe a week and too soon to be turning 62, honestly, but better that than the alternative, unless I'm Benjamin Buttons, and that's different. Well, anyway, I'm not. So share if you can, give me a thumbs up if you would, and I'll see you again next month. Take care, everyone. Namaste.